Warhammer the Old World is here in all of its square-based glory. That means we're going to be painting up huge blocks of models all ranked up together, and that can take an age. So here are my top 5 tips for getting your Old World units ready for play as quickly as possible. Number 1. Plan ahead. Before you dive into your fresh new sprues, it's a good idea to have a think ahead and make a plan of action. This includes which command models you're going to have in your unit, what paint scheme you're going to be using, any pieces that are going to be in sub-assemblies, and what tools you have available to speed the process along. It can be really helpful to write all this down on sticky notes and have them in your hobby area to quickly refer back to. Number 2. Keep it simple, stupid. This goes without saying that the more complicated a job is, the longer it will take. And the same is true with Warhammer. So keep it simple, stupid. When you're coming up with a scheme, try to avoid anything that's going to be overly time consuming. Keep to a few key washes and highlights, using metallics instead of non-metallic metal, keeping units built as standard instead of kit bashing them. All these things save a lot of time and will help your units get from sprue to the battlefield faster. Number 3. Batch everything. When you're building or painting or basing, doing everything in batches really speeds things up. I try to use a one tool at a time rule. So at the start of the process, I will start with snippers and I'll snip out everything I need for that batch. Put those pieces into piles or shot glasses to keep them organised. Only once I've done that will I then move on to the next tool, so that'll be the mould line remover. And the same is true for painting. Repeat the same step with the same paint across the whole batch before moving on to the next step. This reduces the amount of time spent switching between tools or paints, and also reduces any thinking time, which might only be seconds, but when you're trying to crank out a big unit, these seconds all add up. I just want to take a moment to say thank you very much for watching the video. If you're enjoying this so far, please drop a like and a subscribe to the channel, it really helps. Number 4. Use your tools. There are so many hobby tools and techniques that you can utilise to really help speed things up. For example, airbrushing or dry brushing highlights is super quick compared to individually painting them. A sponge can make for some really quick weathering. Using contrast paints, enamel washes and effects paints like streak and grime or dirty down rust to create effects can be a really super fast way to get your models looking great and interesting. Any of these things can really massively improve your efficiency as well as elevating the look of your models on the tabletop. Number 5. Don't sweat the small stuff. These units are so big and are going to be spent most of the time ranked up. They're going to be viewed from a few feet away, and with that in mind, you don't need to be absolutely meticulous with them. Obviously, you want to be as tidy as possible, and any big obvious glaring errors, you want to fix those, but if you miss a mould line or you skip a few details here and there, no one is going to notice. So there are my top tips for getting your units ready fast. Let me know in the comments if you have any other tips too. Thank you for watching, everyone, really appreciate it. If you found the video useful, please drop it a like and subscribe to the channel, it really does help, and see you next time. Bye!